A two-letter web address once sold for over $90,000 a year to rent, not to own. And it wasn't even a word. That little suffix is called a top-level domain, and it's the last thing a browser reads in your web address. There are now over 1,500 of them, from the ancient .com to newcomers like .ai. Most people pick one on impulse and quietly leave trust, money, and traffic on the table. By the end of this, you'll know exactly which extension fits your project, and which ones are silently costing people credibility. Let's start with the king. .com has ruled the internet since the very beginning, and it still isn't close. .com launched in 1985 and never let go. It powers roughly half of all registered websites on Earth, which is why people default to it without thinking. That familiarity is its superpower. When someone hears a name, their brain auto-completes it with .com. Type in a brand without the extension, and that's the one your fingers reach for. Then there's .net, born for networks and infrastructure. It still whispers technical. Think internet providers and back-end tools, not your bakery. With over 150 million .com domains registered, the short, memorable ones are essentially gone. That scarcity created a resale market where premium .com names sell for eye-watering sums. Voice.com once changed hands for $30 million, for a single word plus a dot. Now the plot twist. .io was never meant for tech at all. It's the country code for the British Indian Ocean Territory, a cluster of tiny islands. .net was originally built for network infrastructure, internet providers, hosting companies, technical backbones. Today it's the classic fallback when your .com is taken. It still signals reliability, but here's the honest truth. To a casual visitor, .net can feel like the second-choice version of a brand. It works, but it rarely wins the trust battle against a .com. Here's the wildest part. The newest contender might vanish the same way empires do, because it belongs to a country most people forgot exists. .io is technically the country code for the British Indian Ocean Territory. But developers looked at it and saw input-output, the language of computing itself. That accidental double meaning turned it into the unofficial badge of startups and tech products. It quietly rebranded a geographic tag into a symbol of innovation. Startups fell in love. Suddenly .io was everywhere in Silicon Valley pitch decks and product launches. But .io carries a hidden price tag. Because it's a country code domain, registration and renewal costs far more than a standard .com. Often 3 to 5 times as much per year. And there's a deeper risk. Control of the extension is tied to a real geopolitical territory, which has faced uncertainty about its future. Convenience today, dependency tomorrow. Stick around because the wildest shift is coming. A two-letter extension that went from obscure to gold rush overnight. You've seen it explode across the internet in the last couple of years. And its origin is even stranger than .io. .ai is the country code for Anguilla, a tiny Caribbean island with only about 15,000 residents. When the artificial intelligence boom hit, its two-letter code suddenly became the most desirable branding on the planet. The island now earns tens of millions of dollars a year in domain fees alone, a windfall from a coincidence of letters. For an AI product, this extension is instant context. The name literally tells people what you do before they even click. But .ai is expensive and comes with an unusual quirk. Registrations are commonly sold in 2-year blocks, not one. That means bigger upfront costs and the same geopolitical dependency risk as any country code domain. It's a phenomenal fit for an AI brand, and a strange choice for almost anything else. So how do you actually decide? Comes down to 3 simple questions running through your mind. First, who's your audience, the general public or hardcore techies? Second, what's your budget over 5 years, not just year 1? Third, how much does trust matter for what you sell? Run any project through that loop, and the right extension almost picks itself. If you're building a business meant to last and reach everyone, the safe answer barely changed in 40 years. For a mainstream business or a store, .com still wins on trust and instinct. Grab it if you can. For a developer tool or SaaS startup, .io fits the culture. And for an AI product, .ai is pure signal. The mistake is picking a trendy extension for an audience that only trusts the classic one. There's one last trap worth knowing. A mistake that quietly kills brands before they even launch. If you buy a trendy extension but someone else owns the matching .com, your visitors will type theirs by mistake and land on a competitor. Studies on type-in traffic show a huge share of users still default to .com automatically. So before you commit, check who owns the .com version of your name. That's where your accidental traffic goes. So the dot after your name isn't decoration. It's a signal, telling the world who you are before they read a single word. Choose the dot that matches who you're really talking to, and the internet will read you exactly right.